This is a project I wanted to build for a while. I have some oxygen acetylene tanks and some argon and mixed gas. I wanted to build a cart to put all my tanks on so it's easy to move. Getting kind of old and it's getting really heavy, those tanks, putting them on the carts up and down. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut some steel. And there's the list up on the screen of what I needed. And that's 1.5 inches. Here's the 2-inch. And I'm reusing some of my old steel, so it's kind of a little rusted and everything that I got to clean up before I can paint. This is 2-inch flat bar we're going to use on the bottom. I didn't have any big sheet metal, so I had to use it. The next, I made some 7-inch circles. That's going to be for my wheels. I like to weld those onto the bottom and bolt the wheels on it, because for some reason it seems like your feet always gets poked if you have square instead of round. Now we're getting outside. I'm cutting the steel now to size. And all the steel I'm using is steel I had laying around, so that means everything had to be sanded to get the surface rust off before I could even work with it or paint it. So I just use an Orbiter sander and I just sand the rust off. Here's the first two pieces, 32-inch, 2-inch square. I had to grind the paint off, as you can see, so that I can make welds. The first piece is a 22-inch going into the middle. Next piece is a 10-inch piece, 2-inch square. And then the next piece is another 22 on top. And another 10-inch piece. And then the last 22-inch piece. Now I use magnets to hold everything pretty well square. And I'm going to get ready to make sure everything's square. I'm going to get ready to tack weld it just on top to hold it together. Okay, now I tack weld the whole thing, and after that I welded the sides, and then I grounded off the tack welds because I no longer needed that. I wanted it more smooth. There's the plates. I was getting them in position exactly where I want them for the wheels. And now I clamp them down to make a good weld. So we weld all the seams down, and then we go underneath and just weld the one spot of the metal, and that's done. Now we got to prepare and get ready to put the 2-inch flat bar on. We mark them exactly where we want them. This is pieces I had just laying around, so I'm just using what I have. Ground off the paint so it make a good bond on the weld. And I welded the one side. Now I'm welding the other side. Now we're marking exactly where the wheels go. So you could weld these down, but I chose to drill the holes and to bolt the wheels down. 3 bolts is more than enough for those. Now I'm getting ready to do the top section. I used 1.5-inch square tubing on this because the reason why I didn't have any more 2-inch, because I was just using what I had laying around. This is very important on this rod that goes up. You make sure that one's perfectly square on both sides. If not, the whole rack will be crooked. Now, after you get all that squared and ready to go, you put the last top bar on, and then we're going to get ready to flip it upside down and weld it right to the base. And make sure you get this one square, because this is very important considering the tanks go from the bottom to the top. Next, I put chains on it. This is safety chain, so when you put the tank in, it holds the tank in. I just used the chain, cut the link in half, and welded it down. So now here it is with one tank in it. And as you can see, it's one of the big tanks. It fits in the bottom, and then the safety chains go across so it doesn't turn over. Now also, this is just an addition if you want. I got my plasma cutter out and cut the holes, and this will set right on top to support the tanks also. That was aluminum, so I had to sand it down to make sure I get it nice and etched to paint. Now I painted everything red and put the wheels on, and now we're putting the tanks in. As you can see, it holds all 4 tanks, and it has the safety chains in front. And basically, if you don't want to make the top cap, that's fine. This will work. But now we're going to put the top cap on. Considering I had to make them all the same size to match all my big tanks, the smaller tank's a little sloppy in there, but everything else is fine. Well, there's my cart that I just got done building. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and it was just an easy few-hour project. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. When you get a chance, if you would please subscribe to my channel, that would help us out. Thank you.